Listen. I want you to listen to this. You have to listen to this. In life, people can either be a blessing or a curse to you, and this primarily depends on who they are. Because who they are is what they have to give to you. Yeah, you've got to understand this. Many of you have either failed or succeeded to an extent, and this is due to the kind of personalities you've connected yourselves to. Yeah. People can either make or destroy people, and so you have to be well intentioned about the kind of people you mingle with. So when you mix with the wrong persons, you will definitely end up being a wrong person. In fact, mixing with the wrong persons means that you have already accepted and digested some wrong energy. And sometimes many of you find it difficult to be in the right shape of your life. Yeah. You find it difficult to be in the right places at the right time because the wrong energy from the wrong association that you are keeping is negatively impacting you and making you unable to become the best versions of yourself. Yeah, so you should know that association is key to every kind of possibility. So you must connect with the right persons because they positively impact your mind, they positively impact your attitudes and the entirety of your life, and these will bring about the motivation that will push you into producing positive results. Listen. I know you believe so much in yourself, and some of you are so sure to make it in life even without the support of people. But hear this, listen to this. Every goal, purpose, or vision that God has given to you will involve people. Because the investment and the plan of God in the life of a man is not just to bless the man, but to make the man a blessing to another man or to people. Hence, you're working with the right persons in order to fulfill God's plan for your life. Now, listen to this. In my philosophy, I believe that God can do whatsoever He wants to do without men. Yeah. This is because God is not helpless without man. He is God all by Himself. So with God, all things are possible, and this includes the fact that God is able to do all things in the absence and in the incapacity of man. This is why He is omnipotent and the whole-breasted one. Listen to that again. With God, all things are possible. And you understand what that means. So you should never think that God cannot function on earth without a man. Never think that way. Come on, you tell me now, who feed the birds of the air, as scriptures say? Who controls the times and the seasons, who makes the sun to rise and set. You tell me who keeps the moon working in the night. Tell me who spoke to the fish so that it accurately swallowed the prophet Jonah and took him to his rightful destination. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and He keeps doing things that are far beyond our cognition. And there are times when He intercepts the rules of the natural to effect His agendas and to establish His glory in the world of men. So you are talking about the God who created the heavens and the earth. He was God even before He created everything, so had more respect to His name and position. And so the question here is, if God is this capable, why then does He involve men in His agendas? And the answer is this: God involves men in his agendas not because he is helpless, but because he wants to establish a relationship with them. And this is stemming from his love towards humanity and his original plan for fellowship with mankind. So when God uses a man, it is not God's helplessness, but God's privilege to that man. So nobody, and I repeat, nobody should feel entitled or proud or feel some sense of self aggrandizement because God is making use of him. God can do without you and still be God. So you've got to settle with that truth. This perspective is aimed at killing that notion, that picture, and that narrative that says that without a man, God is helpless in this world. God uses men to reach out to men because of so many reasons, but most especially to establish His love and balance in the systems of men. And this is why someone is having a problem that you are gifted with the solution for. And no matter how gifted or useful you are, you need someone with the exact problems that your gifts can solve, or else you will end up being a gifted, useless person. And yes, God orchestrated this so that no one can feel presumptuous, and so that we all can know that we need each other. And this is one of the ways love and balance is established in the world of men by God. But now, it is not everyone that is having the solution for your problem. It is not everyone that is having the problem that you are meant to solve. It is not everyone that is having the grace, the gift, and the potential for your vision or purpose in life. But those who have all of these qualities to function in your space are the right persons for you. So, the most important factor to be considered when it comes to achieving goals, building your vision, and fulfilling your mission is having the right persons to work with you. After Jesus left the mountain where he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, he didn't go to totally expose himself immediately. He didn't go for the crowd. He went straight to and pick his disciples by the direction of the Holy Spirit. This is because he was going to become a great sign and wonder to the crowd. But the true revelation of his divinity and his mission was not going to be shown by God to the crowd, but to his disciples who would be his witnesses and emissaries to carry on his vision after his death, resurrection, and ascension. So Jesus had to be more focused on working with the 12 because these persons were the extension of his earthly ministry. Now, every leader of vision now has got the 12. Yeah, that's right. And when I say the 12, I don't mean exactly 12 people. I mean persons who, compared to the crowd, are fewer in quantity but greater in the qualities that the visionary needs for the fulfillment of his vision. You have to understand this and maintain a strong relationship with your 12 because some leaders have grown to have crowds and have gotten distracted by these crowds and they turn around to despise their 12. While some of these 12 alright persons have grown into some levels of success with their leaders and allowed the devil to enter into their hearts and incite them to betray their leaders. And trust me, the end is not always good. Judas Iscariot in the Bible is the ultimate example to this. This is why another great sacrifice you will make after finding the right persons is the sacrifice it will take to stay with them, no matter what circumstances will bring to your process. In fact, sometimes these people may appear weak, poor, frail, vain, you can name it all, uneducated and unbecoming, but make no mistake to despise them. Never, never despise them, because when you do, you will be ignorantly despising your own future. If you lose them, you lose the essence of everything. I'm sure you know by now that some persons cannot be replaced. Yes, yes, you should know that. Losing some persons can cause changes in the outcomes of your future that may not be easily fixed. I need to re-emphasize this. Listen, when you find the right persons, you would need discernment and the eyes of the spirits to see beyond their weaknesses in order to see their potentials. Yeah. It would take extraordinary senses to perceive that their destiny aligns with yours and that they can be useful and be a blessing to you despite how weak or small they appear. I'm saying this right now because many persons, with their lack of perception and indiscernibility, have underrated, despised, and pushed away their future helpers, thinking that they are doing themselves a favor by eliminating unimportant people from their lives. But they will realize in the future that the help or answers that they are seeking for was given to them by God in the form of people many years ago, but they pushed them away because they were so full of themselves. What a pity. They will eventually know better by consequence. You know, some persons cannot learn by teachings, they can learn by wisdom. They can only learn by consequences. Yeah. They can only learn by hard situations that can break down their strong walls and soften their hardened hearts so that their perspectives can be shifted in the right direction. And you don't want to be like these people. Yeah, you don't want to be caught up in regretful situations such as this. So make sure you don't despise the right people that God has given you or will give to you, because they can be weak right now, but tomorrow they can become the strong men that will stand to defend and support your purpose in life. They can be down right now, and tomorrow they can be sitting at the top, stretching forth helping hands to take you to the top. And this is the handiwork of God. Oh my God. What is the mystery behind how some persons who are presently useless to you can later become some of the strongest and finest supporters and defenders of your vision? This is because they are created with the compatibility and potentials to fit your purpose. Their purposes are intertwined with your purpose, and this brings about synergism of purposes. This is where destiny supports destiny, gift builds gift, iron sharpens iron for the establishment of God's agenda. This is also why they may look like vain men around you in the beginning, but they eventually grow under your leadership, and in the long run, they inspire you by their faithfulness and submission, and they become great people that you probably didn't see them becoming in the beginning. This was the case of the biblical Jephthah, who was rejected by his people, and he went to a cave where he was surrounded by vain men. God was the mastermind behind this situation, bringing men together so that they could find purpose in each other. And you can see in this case that these men couldn't find their purpose until they found Jephthah. Sometimes you don't find purpose in people who are well-to-do, or people who seems to have some levels of accomplishments in life, but in people who are the complete opposite of what you expect. Yeah. Sometimes you won't find purpose until you find those people who are rejected, dejected, and look like they've lost everything. Yeah. And sometimes losing everything is what it takes to be conditioned in the situation or set in the path where you can find purpose. This is a great mystery for another message. There are two signs to show that some persons are not the right persons for you. Number one, they cannot understand your purpose or vision. Listen, this is a great mystery of life. It is not everyone that God has given the privilege to understand your essence and value. No matter how good you are, no matter how gifted and talented you are, it will be impossible for some persons to see what you bring to the table. This is why in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2, the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain so that he who reads it may run with it. It is only the right people that can read your vision. The reading in this context speaks of interpretation. Everyone sees you as normal because they cannot interpret your purpose. The wrong people see nothing extraordinary about you because they cannot interpret your purpose. But the right people who can read or interpret your purpose or vision are the ones who can run with you. So the first sign that shows that a person is a wrong person in your space is that they cannot interpret your purpose. And what men cannot interpret, they abuse. This is why the wrong persons can have 1,000 ways of seeing you as useless and unproductive, no matter how promising and excellent you are. But the right persons can see you in the gutters, they can see you in the mess, and yet they can look beyond your situations to see the potentials that God has invested in you. This is why they can support you and run with you, because they know that somewhere around your ugly situation is the message that God is preparing for a generation. The second sign that shows that some persons are not the right persons for you is the unwillingness and the inability to grow with you. Because they are not meant for you, they don't have the capacity to interpret your purpose. And this is why they will naturally lack what it takes to grow with you. So investing in the wrong people is like attempting to plant a crop in a rock. How can you penetrate the rock in the first place? But working with the right persons is like casting seeds on fertile ground, and these seeds will become great trees in the days ahead. So, in everything you do, go for the right people and always go with the right people.